agitate. The thing is, you got to gain ground. Start favoring the left side. Just nice and easy. Come, go. Come, go. Yeah. Smaller steps. Yeah. Boom. Yep. Go agitator. Behind the stick, training decoys. We create a V for a couple of reasons. One, we want the dog to slow down a bit on the curve. Two, we want the dog to turn its head appropriately on the V. Three, gives the decoy some safety because the dog slows down and turns his head properly. Shuffle, shuffle, telegraph what you're doing for the dog. This is a learning stage. Back up, D. Back up. Good. You're coming forward as you shuffle. Yeah. So, when you go, I want to keep my toes and my knees connected to the dog's mouth the whole time. Right? And I'm like overemphasizing what I'm watching. Knees, toes. I see the dog's head turning. This is still in the dog's mouth. Still in the dog's mouth. Catch. Spin. I'm gaining ground. Look, I'm favoring this cone right here. I'm watching it all the way into. Even if I get around the cone, I was good too fast. No, you turned your foot the wrong way. You turned. You were here, but your foot's like this. Push your bites aside. A hard dog's shocker's gonna break your leg. Yeah. Keep it here and then pivot with it. Momentum swing. Toes in that mouth. There we go. Nice. Same thing. Boom, boom, pow. You know? Boom, boom, pow. You got freedom to go whichever way you feel comfortable now. If you stand that close, if you stand this close, you gotta take one big step to get there. If you're this far back, you can get all the way out here and really make her bend the corner and slow down. More steps. So it's which. So you see what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna try to make a turn.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is now that you don't have to V, now you want to create the V.
Right.
And so if you get all the way out here, she has to V.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she doesn't slow down very much. She just safe.
Right. I wouldn't turn my feet.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You turn your toes that way. Your body was good, but your toes and feet and knees.
Last one, and then I'll get another dog.
Okay. Yep. Better. Behind the stick, training decoys. Dogs have been trained a bit. Now we're training some decoys. Our good friend from the Southernwind Malinois came up, brought a trailer full of dogs. So we got a little bit more dogs for Darrion to train on. We're working on his laterals and or pivots on French ring catches. We first set up the cones in a very particular fashion that allows him to move in a very controlled way, gives the dog a controlled path, and makes the catches really safe and easy. and then we opened it up, took out the control lines, and allowed him to make his own decision. He makes his own decision as far as which direction he moves in, but he has to use the same principles that we use when we had the cones laid out. So that's what we're doing, and we'll do another dog here shortly and see if he improved any. So there was no pivot there. Part of what we want to see is that pivot. You're moving like that. So by the time the dog breaks the cone, that dog still has a straight 45 degree at your knee. Like a big dog's gonna break your leg. And so if you're cut off like that, you have to just absorb the dog straight, okay? If you take the up here and the dog actually bends and you make the catch, you can pivot. Pivot, body weight goes this way. From back here, you can't create a pivot because they're coming straight at you.
Oh, so I need to get closer up here.
Yeah, as always. Because right now, you really should be absorbing them like this, but you got to move forward and at an angle. You move forward and at an angle, you make your body smaller, right? You make your body smaller. You have a stick, which presents a barrage, some sort of picture that also blocks and slows them down, if necessary, especially since you're left-handed. That slows them down too, you know what I mean? But you're only going you're not getting ahead of the ant pile. No. You gotta get ahead of it for a true pivot. When you're going like this, just remember, fast dog, you need to absorb, not just boom, right? Yeah. You're doing that because they're cutting you off. If they cut you off, you need to absorb straight back. You go that way. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna try this side.
Okay. Now we should see that you get forward.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
There you go. You absorb though. That's perfect. Perfect. Dog cut you off, you absorb. That's learning something for sure. Awesome.
But I started moving too fast.
Exactly. That was just timing. That's a whole different. All it takes is to go.
Yeah.
Like when you go, you go.
Yeah.
Like you're waiting a little bit longer, but when you go, you go.
Go. But I wasn't going up far enough.
Don't remember what happened. You didn't create enough of a bend to force a pivot. Force your pivot with these cones. Force your pivot. Force your pivot. I'm right here, and my goal is to get there. I almost beat her, right? Where she almost missed the bite. But I forced the pivot. I'd rather you force the pivot and they miss than don't force the pivot and jam your leg. But now that I went that side and I saw that I got about here and I had to sort of give it to her before she missed, I know how I was a tad bit too fast. And so now I can shorten it up, that timing on this side. That's her slowing down, looking for it. But that's good.